So this is an interesting one, folks. I actually have a question for you today. What do you think the biggest reason for you not losing weight is right now? What do you think your biggest obstacle is? Because I'm talking to people every day, and I'm talking to people in my circle, I suppose, here, who have been following me online for some time in many cases. And so they understand some of the methodologies, and so sometimes it's a small, I would say, semantic that's the reason why they're not seeing success right now. So it might be that they know roughly what to do. They have a problem sticking to it and developing habits and getting over the metaphorical hump. Sometimes they, roughly speaking, know the fundamentals of plant-based eating, but maybe, again, there's some nuance that they've not quite got right. Some people, they know what to do, it's just a question of inconsistency. They're eating lots of the right foods, but there's also a few wrong foods sneaking in there, whether knowingly or not, and it just requires a correction there. But you guys, my lovely audience here, you're not the vast majority of people. One, you're not the vast majority of people who are looking to lose weight. And two, you're not the vast majority of people on the planet. And so, or anywhere close to it. And so, really, I think, for most people, the biggest barrier to weight loss is that they can't be bothered. It isn't information, it isn't knowledge, it isn't that they actually have the information but they can't sort of implement that, they can't fit it around their lifestyle. It isn't usually that, it's that people can't be bothered. And I understand it, I get it, I've been there myself. And I'm certainly not perfect with it even to this day. But it seems to be laziness and resistance to change. I mean, we love homeostasis, don't we? We love the comfort zone. It's comfortable, it's safe, it's nice, warm and fluffy. And why challenge ourselves when we've got it good? And yeah, it's built into us, so I don't necessarily blame individuals for this. I mean, it could be rather irresponsible that you're not taking control of your health right now for yourself, not only, but also your family, your loved ones, your colleagues even for that matter. It can really have this huge ripple effect. But generally, I don't blame an individual person for this. We're a product of, one, human behaviour, which to a great degree we can't help, and two, our culture and society, I suppose. So if the culture has poor health standards, which I would argue certainly the UK's culture very much has poor health standards, then of course you're going to get a bunch of people that aren't too fussed either way if they are carrying some extra weight. And so, you know, sometimes I dress it up and I say, well, it's the clarity they're missing, or it's information overwhelm. But in most cases, people know roughly what to do to start losing weight. Okay, there might be some nuances, semantics, and particular questions they have. But most people, they don't even bother starting, folks. They don't. Or if they do, they're 2 weeks in the gym in January, and then you never see them again for the rest of the year. Classic. And I see this time and time again. So why do I say all of this? It's a bit of a pessimistic conversation to have, I suppose. But I say all of this because I've been there and I've changed. And I suppose I just want to challenge you, if you've watched many of my videos now, obviously you're in my circle here, you wouldn't be watching this video had you have likely not seen something from me before. And so you perhaps already know the fundamentals of plant-based eating. You perhaps have a bit of an A to Z guide, at least in your head. Okay, it might not be perfect, but a rough A to Z guide on how to start seeing results, how to start losing that weight. Go for it. Start taking action is what I challenge you to do, because again, if you're always waiting for this is a conversation I had recently with someone, a great member of my academy recently. We're always looking for the perfect time, whether it's a clear calendar, whether it's the other commitments are in order right now, maybe we have the resources. We're always waiting for that perfect time, whatever that looks like for you, to start taking action. I'm here to tell you it absolutely doesn't exist. You really do have to force yourself at first to get going. What happens in time is discipline takes over, habits take over, you start ingraining these patterns of behaviour, and things do generally become a whole lot easier. But weight loss is about adversity. Weight loss is tough, and really your ability to accept that is going to be absolutely essential. A principle, I actually haven't spoken about it for a while, but something I have iterated previously on this channel is the need to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because weight loss is tough, it is challenging, there are going to be struggles thrown at you. If you can manage the internal resistance with that and just accept, it's not half as troubling. If you can relish everything as a lesson or a challenge or a test, again, I know this is very sort of self-helpy and I kind of lose people when I start talking like this. That is the perfect attitude to start seeing long-term results. and to start sticking to things, and to become bothered, and to stop being lazy. You have to start getting disciplined. There's never the right time, folks. You're never always going to be perfectly motivated. You have to start taking action, and wonderful things, telling you from my personal experience, and I've seen this hundreds of times with clients now, but wonderful things can happen when you take those first few steps and just get committed. So that's my challenge to you today. If you feel like you can't be bothered right now, please start taking action. Also, there's a whole clique of people, because I hear this time and time again, and I mean this from a loving place. It's not going to sound it, but please trust me, I do mean this from a loving place. There's a whole host of people as well who think that their problem is, well, I'm not sure about how much fat to eat on a plant-based diet, or, oh, I'm not sure how to, fit things around my schedule to make this plant-based stuff work for me. A lot of you that say this are well-intentioned, but I know, because I've had this conversation so many times, really this is a self-justification. You are clinging onto these excuses as a result, in order rather to not take action. Again, mean this from a loving place. You have to just get going. These might be genuine valid questions, but I've seen so many people cling on to these things. No, I can't lose weight. I can't stick to this because of this. And it's a tiny little nuance. And really, that is sort of outweighing their best intentions, really, and throwing them off track. So monitor your excuses as well is what I would challenge you to do. But yeah, start taking those first few steps. Really commend you to do that. Amazing things can happen. If you need some more help on these first few steps, of your weight loss journey, more resources at naturalweightlossmastery.com. I'll put a link to it down below. See you in the next video. Thanks for your time.